guys, it is Wednesday night, super late. By super late, I mean 9:40. I pulled Instagram, and popular demand was to show you a shoulder workout. We'll get into it and train some shoulders. It's like bringing it back to basics, like back to what I used to do every single week, multiple times a week. Now I switch it up more and more varied with my training, but to build the foundation, shoulders. So I'm actually switching to a 5-day split, and so I'm going to be training shoulders by themselves, chest, triceps, back biceps, and then legs twice. So this is my very much go-to shoulder workout. So we begin with my shoulder warm-ups. If you guys want to see the full explanation description of what I do for my shoulder warm-up, go check out the video that I linked right here. And those help with my rotator cuff issues, help with my clicking in my shoulders, and everything. Gang's all here. So first movement we're doing is time old staple movement, dumbbell shoulder presses. The thing though, I've built my strength pretty high with these, but I've built my strength from a shortened range of motion. So tonight I'm probably going to stay a little bit lower weight, come all the way down to my shoulders and push up, because that extra little range of motion really hits the side delts, which is actually what I'm lacking. So first movement, dumbbell shoulder press, gonna hit 4 sets, probably anywhere from 10 to 12 reps. I'll probably get down to like 8 reps as we get to the end. But with this set, I'm only going to like 35 pounds. So yeah, I didn't go too heavy on those shoulder presses, trying to really actually focus on the motion instead of just pushing weight. Hard for Lindsay. Next superset, I'm doing upright rows, supersetted with seated side raises. So I want to talk to you guys more about these things. So for an upright row, there's everybody that has a different angle that they prefer. I like to bend over, like lean my chest down a tiny bit and try to imagine pushing with the back of my shoulder, almost like up and back. I find that's easiest by leaning forward, because that's supposed to hit your side delts and your rear delts. And I find that I'm using more traps if I stand straight up. That's just my own preference. Hit 15 reps there, and then seated side raises, I try to pinch my shoulder blades together and then bring my pinkies up first. Lead with my pinkies, that will hit more side and rear delts. So hit about 15 to 18 reps there, just kind of till failure. And on the last set, doing a drop set. So that's where you just cut your weight basically in half and keep going until you die. Keep going. By the wall. So now moving on to another side raise. I'm trying to really isolate my side delts a lot. More so than presses, honestly, because my side delts are really lacking. That's what gives me that kind of like dip in my shoulder. So doing a leaning side raise is beneficial because you can go a little bit heavier, but you aren't going to be using your trap if you're doing it right. So if you lean, you don't have to squeeze your shoulders up and use your, like squinch your neck in your traps to get the weight up, and you can go a little bit heavier. But don't get carried away with this. You still have to do the weight that lets you feel it in the muscle. That's more important than going up 5 pounds every single set. So for me, I started at like a 15 pound and then went to 20s and stayed there. So I've been able to do like 35s with that movement in the past, but just because I can move the weight doesn't mean that it's effective. I can't harp that enough. If I could tell my old self one thing, it would be that. So hitting a bit of rear delts now. This rear delt fly is a very challenging movement, so if you can't do it for a while when you're first starting training, totally understandable. It's a very hard muscle to connect with your mind. I think of it, I try to picture the back side of my armpit just above that. That spot is like your rear delt. So if you can picture that when you're doing this movement, that will help a lot. Also trying to think about driving your elbows back and not squeezing your back, because that becomes a different movement altogether. So we did one more pressing movement that I didn't show you guys, because most people don't have hammer strength machines, but if you do, it's a plate loaded shoulder press. absolutely probably my favorite machine, favorite exercise. So moving on, very last thing, doing another rear delt focused exercise, which is face pulls. So you want to think about keeping your elbows super high so you can't physically engage your back or your traps, or mostly your traps. But keeping your elbows super high to kind of cut off the mind muscle for any other part except for your rear delts. Don't turn this into a bicep movement. Don't pull with your hands. Try to think about pulling with your elbows. Your hands are just kind of the pins to hold the rope. Your elbows should push back almost kind of like a row, but with using your rear delts. So end here, high reps. Gonna burn out, and then we're gonna go home and eat.
That's the end of the shoulder.
That's the end of the shoulder workout. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, please hit the like button and then hit subscribe. We're growing and growing. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Love you.